For decades, the promise was pretty simple. Work hard, get your education, and you'll get ahead. That was the deal. But for a whole generation, that promise is completely broken. The very first step on the career ladder, the one that's supposed to lift you up, has just vanished. And the tool that seems to be sawing it off? Artificial intelligence. Look, this isn't just some market shift, it's a full-blown crisis happening right now. And it makes us ask a really scary question. What happens when an entire generation can't even get started?
Forget a gentle downturn. This is a free fall. 29%. That's the collapse in global entry-level job listings between early 2024 and late 2025. And that's not just a number on a screen. You can feel that. It's the sound of millions of doors slamming shut at the exact moment a new generation is knocking. It's opportunity just evaporating on a scale we haven't seen in a long, long time. This isn't a market correction, it's a generational crisis in the making.
And here's the brutal result of that. A college degree, which used to be the safest bet for a stable career, has become a ticket to the unemployment line for way too many people. By the fall of 2025, the unemployment rate for recent U.S. college grads shot up to 9.5%. Just think about that for a second. That's nearly double the rate for the general adult population. So while the rest of the economy looks like it's keeping its head above water, its newest, most educated members, they're drowning. The dream is turning into a nightmare for the very people who were told they did everything right.
But here's the thing. This isn't just about jobs disappearing. It's about a chilling, fundamental shift in how we even value human potential. This quote just lays it all out there. More than a third of employers now look at a recent graduate and an algorithm as basically interchangeable. And they're picking the algorithm. This isn't an economic cycle anymore, people. This is a deliberate choice. It's a value judgment being made in boardrooms all over the world. And it forces us to ask, what have we become when we see a young person's potential as something that can be directly replaced by a line of code? This is the battle for the future of work, and right now it sure looks like the machines are winning.
The future of work is at a huge crossroads. And to really get how we got here, we've got to follow the data, expose the myths, and uncover some pretty inconvenient truths. So, in this deep dive, we're going to investigate the shocking numbers behind the vanishing first rung. We'll define what the broken ladder crisis really is and why it threatens our whole system of developing expertise. We'll pull back the curtain on the AI-first playbook with a cautionary tale of a company that went way too fast, way too far. Then we're going to pivot to an overlooked culprit that makes this whole story a lot more complicated. And finally, we'll outline the new rules of work and ask how, or even if, we can start rebuilding that ladder.
Okay, let's kick off our investigation with the evidence. Because the numbers don't lie. And what they're telling us right now isn't a story of a slowdown. It's a story of a market in a full-blown retreat. The hard data paints a picture that is stark, it's undeniable, and frankly, it's terrifying.
Okay, so look at this. The tech industry, right? It was supposed to be the promised land. In 2022, it was a rocket ship. It added over 250,000 jobs in the U.S. alone. But then, that rocket slammed into reverse. In 2023, the industry shed nearly 50,000 jobs. Then, another 22,000 in 2024. The tech boom had suddenly become a bust, especially for the next generation. People inside these companies confirmed that a huge number of these cuts targeted junior roles and recent hires. The whole last in, first out thing. The gateway to the future had suddenly become a revolving door.
And make no mistake, this isn't just a Silicon Valley problem. No way. This is a global pandemic of disappearing opportunity. The contagion spread fast. In the UK, tech roles for recent graduates just plummeted by a staggering 46%. But the problem was bigger than tech. For the first time since the pandemic, overall graduate hiring in the UK actually fell. And across Europe, a massive analysis found that the share of all job ads listed as entry-level was 45% below the historical average. The message was the same from London to Berlin to Boston. The ladder to success has been pulled up, and a whole generation is stranded on the ground.
All the headlines are screaming about job losses. And yeah, that's real, and it's a painful part of this story. But the true crisis, the one with consequences that are going to ripple out for decades, is way more insidious. We're not just losing jobs, we're losing the very system that has always created expertise. We are systematically automating the future, one entry-level position at a time. And the long-term cost could be absolutely catastrophic.
So this brings us to the core of the problem, what we're calling the broken ladder theory. Think about how expertise has always been built. It's kind of like a modern-day apprenticeship. A law firm hires a junior paralegal. What's their job? document review, filing paperwork, the grunt work. But while they're doing that work, they're also sitting in on meetings, listening to senior partners debate strategy, just soaking up the culture and the nuance of the profession. Well, now an AI can do that document review faster and cheaper. But here's the thing. The AI doesn't learn, it doesn't grow, and it will never become a senior partner. By automating that grunt work, we've made the price of admission to a world of expertise impossibly high. We are creating a world of masters with no apprentices, and that is a recipe for disaster.
This isn't just about efficiency, it's about survival. And this quote, wow, it just nails it. This is a pyramid scheme. It delivers huge returns at the top right now by basically cannibalizing the future of the organization. Companies that sacrifice their junior talent for short-term profits are going to wake up in a decade and find themselves in a world with no experienced leaders, no seasoned innovators, and no future. I mean, where are the chief engineers and marketing directors of 2040 supposed to come from if we refuse to train them today? This pyramid scheme of AI-driven job cuts is a house of cards, and it's just waiting to collapse. So, theory is one thing, but what does this look like in the real world? Let's move from the abstract to the concrete and see what happens when a major company bets its entire future on the promise of AI, and, in the process, learns a very hard, very public lesson. Let's dig into the AI-first playbook in action.
So, let's talk about Klarna, the Swedish fintech giant. In 2024, it basically became the poster child for the AI revolution. Its CEO was super vocal, talking up a future where AI would handle huge parts of the work that humans used to do. The company's actions made headlines all over the world, first as this huge triumph of innovation, and then, well, as a cautionary tale of a revolution that just went too far, too fast.
The future, or so we were told, had arrived. Klarna rolled out this AI chatbot that was, according to them, a marvel of modern tech. They made this bold, shocking claim that this single tool was doing the work of 700 full-time human agents. The savings were projected to be enormous, $40 million a year. It was hailed as the ultimate proof of concept. The company slammed the brakes on hiring, its workforce shrank, and Wall Street loved it. This, it seemed, was the blueprint. But here's the thing about those shiny numbers. They don't tell the whole story. Not even close. Klarna's AI was amazing at efficiency for simple stuff. It could answer, "Where's my order?" in seconds, but it was a complete failure at empathy. When a customer was frustrated or confused or dealing with a complex financial problem, the chatbot just fell apart. As you can see, the reality was a huge contrast to the claims. Customer satisfaction scores for anything other than a simple question just plummeted. The system couldn't handle escalations, which created these dead ends for frustrated users. And that crucial institutional knowledge, the kind human agents share with each other, it started to evaporate. The company was forced to face a simple truth: you can't automate a relationship. Within a year, that whole triumphant story had flipped. Klarna quietly started rehiring human agents. The AI revolution had hit a very human wall.
And look, Klarna's story is a huge warning, for sure, but they are not alone. An analysis of companies that went for these aggressive AI-driven job cuts found that a majority, 55%, now regret the decision. They're discovering a whole world of unintended consequences. There are hidden costs, from employee morale just cratering to the really expensive and difficult task of rehiring for skills you lost. There's this dawning realization that the siren song of AI efficiency is tempting, but the reality is often a tale of brand damage, frustrated customers, and the simple fact that some things are just too important to be left to the machines.
Okay, so up to this point in our investigation, AI has been suspect number one, right? The case seems pretty solid. But what if we've been pointing the finger at the wrong culprit this whole time? What if AI isn't the cause of the crisis, but just something that's pouring gasoline on the fire? What if the real villain isn't a new technology at all, but a really powerful and familiar economic force that was set in motion long before this AI boom even began? This is where our story takes a turn, because that whole narrative, the AI jobs apocalypse, it's simple, it's compelling, and hey, it kind of fits what we see. But the data, well, the data tells a much more complicated and maybe a more revealing story. To understand it, we have to look at the timeline, because the timeline is everything. Okay, I want you to forget about AI for just a second and look at this chart. Honestly, this might be the most important piece of evidence we look at today. The blue lines, those are job postings. You see them peak and then they just fall off a cliff in the spring of 2022. Now look at the red line. That's the federal funds rate, the interest rate set by the U.S. Central Bank. Simply put, when that rate goes up, it gets more expensive for companies to borrow, to invest, and to grow. And as you can see, its steep climb started in March of 2022. The correlation is a near-perfect mirror image.
The job market didn't start to collapse when ChatGPT was released in late 2022. It started to collapse the moment the Federal Reserve began the most aggressive interest rate hikes in 40 years. AI might be the scapegoat, but the data suggests the original culprit was just good old-fashioned economics.
And here's the second critical piece of evidence that kind of messes up that simple AI story. This chart breaks down job postings by seniority in fields that are supposedly the most exposed to AI disruption. Now, if AI was the assassin, you'd expect a targeted hit, right? The light blue line for junior jobs would plummet, while the dark blue line for senior jobs would hold steady or maybe even rise. But that is not what the data shows. They fell together in almost perfect lockstep, like two skydivers with a bad parachute. This suggests what we saw wasn't some surgical strike by AI on the bottom of the ladder. It was a broad-based hiring freeze that hit everyone. It was an economic deep freeze, and the entire ecosystem, from the intern to the senior vice president, felt the chill.
So look, whether the primary cause was interest rates and AI was the getaway driver, or the other way around, the outcome is the same. The world of work has fundamentally changed. The old map your parents used to navigate their careers, it's useless now. The old rules just don't apply anymore. To survive and actually thrive in this new era, you need a completely new playbook.
Let's just break down how much things have changed. In the old playbook, your degree was everything. It was your ticket to the game. You'd learn the specifics on the job, and your career was this predictable, straight climb up a stable ladder. Well, that world is gone. In the new playbook, it's demonstrated skills that are your ticket. What you can do is infinitely more important than where you went to school. Lifelong learning isn't just a nice thing to have. It is a core requirement for survival. And you can forget the corporate ladder. It's been replaced by a jungle gym, requiring you to be agile, adaptable, and constantly looking for the next handhold.
So, in a world full of artificial intelligence, what's our biggest advantage? Well, it's our human intelligence. The skills that matter most now are precisely the ones that are hardest to automate. Things like analytical and creative thinking to solve new problems, resilience and agility to navigate constant change, collaboration and leadership to motivate and work with other people, and above all, curiosity. That's the engine of lifelong learning. The future of work isn't about competing head-on with machines. It's about doubling down on the skills that make us uniquely human and learning to use technology not as a replacement, but as a tool to amplify our own abilities.
All right, so the old world of work is gone. We're not going back. The old ladder is broken, and just waiting for someone else to fix it is not a strategy. So this leads us to the final and most important question of our investigation. What do we build in its place? The future isn't something that just happens to us. It's something we create. And we have to now consciously and deliberately forge new pathways to develop the next generation of talent.
This requires a whole new social contract. We need a commitment from companies to once again see themselves as creators of talent, not just consumers of it. One really promising model is to look at the medical field, create corporate residencies, structured programs where a junior employee's main job is literally to learn under intense mentorship. Another is creating AI apprenticeships, new entry-level roles designed not to do grunt work, but to learn how to partner with AI tools to solve complex problems, becoming the human-in-the-loop experts of tomorrow. And all of this has to be supported by a full-scale reskilling revolution, where we accept that education doesn't end when you're 22, but is a continuous process throughout a 50-year career. The time for talk is over. It's time to act.
Look, in the end, the future is a choice. We can just drift into a world where opportunity is scarce and talent withers on the vine. Or we can choose to be the architects of a better system. We can build a world of haves and have-nots, defined by who can keep up with the machines. Or we can build a world where technology actually serves humanity, and everyone has a chance to contribute and succeed. The ladder is broken. The pieces are lying on the ground. The question is no longer whether we can rebuild it, but whether we will choose to.